On this installment of Retro Tech Time, we're going to connect and set up a GoTek floppy emulator with a Tandy Color Computer. Welcome to the Retro Tech Time channel. I'm your host, Terry Steggy, aka Data Soup. In this video, we're going to connect and set up the latest version of the GoTek floppy emulator on a Tandy Color Computer with an edge card adapter. Using the adapter keeps the hardware intact without any permanent modifications. I also want to thank channel subscriber Eric C. for requesting this video. What I'm going to show in this video is actually original equipment, including the ribbon cable. The only difference is we're putting a edge card adapter in between the GoTek and this cable. I wanted to point out that the red line or blue line on the ribbon cable is the pin number 1. On the GoTek it actually looks like pin number 2, but it is on that side, so I just wanted to explain that. So we'll want to line that red or blue wire up with the number 2 on the adapter that we've installed on the GoTek, which should also match the 1 and 2 ports on the GoTek itself. Next, we'll need to connect the jumpers, which are represented here with the yellow arrows, and they're marked as shunts. Those are the 2 jumpers that you'll need to make sure go across those pins. And then lastly, I wanted to show that strange little wire that's coming off of one of those pins. On my particular unit, it has a speaker built in, so it just allows you to hear what sounds like a floppy drive while it's working. Kind of a neat feature. So on the GoTek, there are 2 sets of pins. One of them is for the power, the other is for the IDE data transfer. Now, so you don't have to tear up one of the original ribbon cables. This adapter, which I will show the link in the description below, works pretty well converting IDE to edge card, which is what the old TRS-80 and Tandy Cocos used for their disk drives. And here we're just showing that pin 2 lines up with the GoTek's pin 2. The pin 1 is on the other side. I'll also leave a link below in the description for this floppy power adapter. So I did zip tie up this ribbon cable just to keep it a little more manageable. The very first connection, with the red pin being number 1, goes to the top of the FD501 or whatever controller you're using. Now, as you're working your way down the ribbon cable, you want to use the connector that's closest to the controller, not the very end one. That will allow you to be drive 0 on your Coco for your GoTek. And again, the red goes to the pin 1 or 2, whichever you can see from the angle you're at. I want to use this GoTek in multiple Cocos, so I didn't want to hardwire power. So I got a switching power adapter that gives me my 5 volts for the floppy drive. And I will also leave a link in the description for this device as well. And in honor of the Coco, I got a Coco Green USB drive that I'm going to insert in the GoTek. After this step, I will go back and show you how to populate this USB drive and the settings it's going to need. Next, we'll install the FD501 disk controller into the ROM pack slot on the side of the Coco. Next, from an internet browser, we're going to need to download the FlashFloppy software. And once again, I'll have all these links in the description down below. I would recommend getting the latest version just so you can get the most current ffconfig file that we're going to need to put on our USB drive. And then we'll need to go into our downloads directory and extract the compressed zip file. And once we do that, we're going to extract from the examples directory the ffconfig file. From here, I'm just going to copy it, and then we will paste it in a directory that I've got created on my machine just called Coco Floppy. You can put it wherever you would like. Just keep it in the same spot as all the other files you're going to download here in the next few steps. Next, we're going to open the ff.config file, and under drive emulation, we need to change the interface to read ShoeGuard. And that you can just take a copy of what's above and paste it down in the same place the other one was. Additionally, under the host setting, we need to change that to read actually Tandy-Coco. Again, we'll just copy and paste from the examples above. The last section of this file that I want to edit is called display type. One thing I've noticed with these newer GoTeks is the OLED display appears to be upside down for most of the applications I've used them for. They have included a fix for the display type. Basically, you just need to change it to OLED-128 by 64-rotate. Paste that into your display type and it will fix the problem. Next, we need to save this file. I like to keep the original that I downloaded, so I'm just going to save this directly to the USB drive that I'm going to use for this GoTek. One reminder on your USB drive, it has to be formatted using FAT32. The last thing we need to do is populate our USB drive with some DSK images. Here I'm going to download Gatecrasher by Nick Marentes. This game, the first time I saw it, just blew me away. It's a Castle Wolfenstein type 3D shooter, but it's on an 8-bit Coco. Just amazes me he was able to make this work. Next, we're going to go to the Color Computer archive. I'd like to download a game called Shock Trooper. It's one of my favorite games. It's based off the old TV show V, and it's just a fun game to have. Now we just need to extract both of those zip files, and from there we're going to copy the DSK files over to our USB drive. While I'm doing that, I would like to explain the USB drive that you're using has to be formatted as FAT32. Some newer machines will not allow you to format them as FAT32 using just the Explorer or even computer management. You have to open up a PowerShell as administrator. I do show how to do that in my GoTek for MS-DOS video. If you think that could be of assistance to you, go ahead and go to the channel's main page and look for the GoTek MS-DOS video. Alright, here we're going to go ahead and copy those to the USB drive, and we should be ready to open those up on our machine. Alright, everything's plugged in, and shock should be the first disk on our USB drive, and the GoTek shows that it is. So first we're going to do a drive 0. That just tells the Coco to go to that first drive, and we'll do a directory and see what's on that disk, and the shock program is on that disk. Next, with the rotating knob on the GoTek, I'm going to select the crasher disk. Then on the Coco we'll do a dir, and we'll be able to see that it has changed. Next we'll load up the crasher.bas file, and we'll run it just to give you a preview of the game. As always, thank you for watching, and feel free to leave a comment about this episode or what you'd like to see covered in future episodes. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notifications bell so you'll be notified when future videos are uploaded. Thanks again!